The Partial Breakaway Podcast with your hosts Nick and Junior and producer Vince, bringing you elite fantasy hockey information to help you win your fantasy leagues and win at life.
So 107 of the Partial Breakaway Fantasy Hockey Podcast, episode 2 of our fantasy rankings, Defensemen.
Episode 106 was our goalie rankings, which was quite longer than we thought it would be, but happy that we actually did it because we got it out of the way, and goalies are voodoo. But here, defensemen, my friends, are not necessarily voodoo, and they could actually win you your league.
You know what you got.
So we are going to be talking about defensemen today, but before we get into the defensemen, Junior, why don't you tell people where they can find us and why they should like us and subscribe?
At Partial Break Pod on TikTok, X, Instagram. Follow us on all audio platforms at Partial Breakaway.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe and like on YouTube. Please leave us reviews on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to our podcast, and engage in our social posts, engage on our episodes. There's not a better time to engage than during our rankings. So there's a correction. The whiteboard should say defenseman.
We didn't have time to do it.
We didn't have time to change anyways. But so please follow along, like, subscribe, engage, and why don't we tell them about our listener league?
And once you do all that, then you can join our listener league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's a pick'em league.
It's a pick'em league. Salaries. We pick 2 centers, 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers, 2 defensemen, 1 goalie.
You make your best lineup with $35 million.
35 million. That's the key. So we're using the real salaries of players in the NHL, and you got to do all that in 35 million.
I dare you.
I guarantee you can't take McDavid, McKinnon, and Draisaitl on the same team because you
can't even take 2 of them.
You can't even take 2 of them. Your salaries are done. So it's a fun league. We have about 30 teams right now that are signed up. So there's still space for anybody. You don't have to be an expert in fantasy. It's basically you're coming in. You're basically a couch GM, the way we call it. The key part about this fantasy league is that we didn't want it to get boring. So we didn't want it that you just do your lineup and then hope for the best. So it is a weekly lineup. So you do your lineup 1 week. If you see you don't like the way your team plays, or if there's a team that plays 4, 5 games or 3, 4 games the week after, you can scrap your whole team from week 1 and create a new one. And on the same team, and it's all cumulative points. So at the end of the season, we accumulate all your points, and basically we rank all of you. And the ones who finish last we won't make fun of you. But the ones who finish in the top 3, there's prizes to come. So it's $15 US to subscribe. We use Fantrax, which is one of the most popular apps to use for these type of leagues.
And you can have more than 1 team.
You could definitely have more than 1 team. The only kicker is if you want more than 1 team, you just got to send us a message to let us know so we can add the 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th team that you want manually. But if you're interested, if you guys just want to take a look, send us a message through any social media platform that Junior just named, and we'll gladly send you the link so you guys could join the fun.
All right, let's get this started, ladies and gentlemen. Defensemen are now live. We
unanimous
have a consensus list here, so we each made our own individual list, and we decided that our individual lists, we're going to put them together in order to make a consensus list. We have some of us did it with tiers, some of us did it with points, some of us didn't do any of that at all, and we just said this is the best defenseman in the league. And we're starting with Cale Makar as number 1, because you know what? We would absolutely be shunned as a podcast if we did not have Cale Makar as the best defenseman in the world right now. And we followed him with Quinn Hughes, Evan Bouchard. I'm just going to mention the top 10, let's say, and then we're going to see who belongs and who doesn't and get into a little bit of a discussion here. Zach Werenski is number 4. Adam Fox is number 5. Again, this is fantasy points for defensemen, so we are very excited about Adam Fox, even though maybe in real life he's not as good defensively. Rasmus Dahlin, Shea Theodore, number 7. Number 8 is Josh Morrissey. Number 9, Lane freaking Hudson, Calder winner. And number 10, Victor Hedman. So I'm very curious here. Who do we think, Junior, might not belong on this list by season's end?
Ooh. This is tough. I think this is a pretty accurate top 10. The only difference I had on mine was that Victor Hedman was slightly lower, and I had Harley jump to the top 10. I think for the first time in his young career, he's going into the season knowing he's the number 1 guy. He's the number 1 power play guy. Dallas is a powerhouse.
You'd think, right?
Yeah, well,
Because I agree with you. I think Thomas Harley should be in the top 10 if I had a guarantee that he was a top power play guy, and he should be. By the way, we listened to Ryan from Sarcastic's podcast, who came onto our podcast as a guest and explained everything to you. But Peter DeBoer is not there anymore. I don't know who's going to be the power play. I don't know how the power play is going to look.
That's one guy we were going to talk about next year. But you both had the Thomas Hardy at 10. I had him at 19.
Wow. So you're the reason he's not in the top 10, technically.
Yes. Yeah. Because basically what we did, basically, let's say we'll use Thomas Hardy as an example. I took Junior's 10, Nick's 10, my 19, divided by 3. And then it gives me an average, and then I ranked it from there. So that's the way we did the rankings. I honestly do believe Heiskanen's going to come out this year and prove that he's the number 1 in everything. The defense, points with the Dallas team. I think he had a little bit of issues, injury issues last year. So that's why I had Harley at 19. But I mean, can you really complain about these top 10?
No, like 9 to 12 are like interchangeable.
I mean, if I want to be a real like stinger, I'd say Lane Hudson, but he's just
stickler.
Yeah, stickler. It's like I'd say Lane Hudson, but he just got the opportunity last year. He took it and ran with it, and I think he proved a lot of people wrong, including myself, who thought he was only going to get 35 points. So
he's definitely special.
Yeah, 100%. And you gotta put him. Whether you like him Habs or not, if you're man, what's the word I'm looking for?
So he is. When I say the word special, I think that Lane Hudson is different than all of these guys above. There's part of that because of the fact that the puck is always on his stick, whereas not everybody above him, the puck is always on their sticks. Even like Makar and Hughes, right? Makar is all world. The guy could do everything well, but he's still different than Lane Hudson in the way that he performs, in the way that he skates, and the way that he reads the play. Lane Hudson has a very unique style that not all of these people have. And he also is probably the worst defensively out of all of these people ahead of him. Maybe Adam Fox is an argument to be made there. But
fantasy-wise, that doesn't matter.
Fantasy-wise, you're looking at points. So I think he's unique, and I think he belongs in the top 10. Of course, sophomore year coming up, you don't know. So there's a little bit of variability there.
On this list, I just feel that Shea Theodore can crack the top 5. I think he can get on top ahead of.
He has to stay healthy.
Yeah,
I think that's the only thing that's missing on Theodore's game is be healthy for a full season. He has everything. He has a top power play, great team, has the offensive pedigree.
Exactly.
He could do everything perfectly well. And I think listener Jamie made fun of me once because I had traded a first-round pick for Shea Theodore when Shea Theodore was not Shea Theodore of today. Like back in the day, because I had so much hope for this guy because I read so much about him and I really liked him, and it was back when he was in Anaheim, and I still paid a first round for him. He was probably the best player I had ever paid a first round pick for.
I don't blame you. And that was a crowded core in Anaheim at the time.
It was.
I'm looking at Rasmus Dahlin to have another big year. I think because he's in a bad team, people automatically assume like his numbers dropped. The guy had 17 goals, 50 assists in 73 games last year. Do not forget or underestimate Dahlin going into next year.
Well, it's like Eric Carlson, who got 100 points when he was with San Jose, and they were a terrible team. If you got talent, you're going to get those fantasy points. It's not a problem.
Guys, we ranked about 50 defensemen, and
Yeah.
the reason why is because if you're in a 10-team league and you start 5 defensemen per team, those are your starters right there, 50. So let's move on to 11 to 20 and kind of discuss who belongs, who doesn't, and who has a huge red flag that we don't know what's going to happen to. So Jake Sanderson, 11. Thomas Harley, we already spoke about, 12 because of Vince.
Yep. You better believe it.
Sergachev, 13. Eric Carlson, 14. Roman Yossi, 15. Moritz Seider, 16. Vince Dunn, 17. Dougie Hamilton, 18. Miro Heiskanen,
Because of Nick and Jr.?
19. Jacob Chikrin, 20. So who from this list really throws a red flag?
Well, I mean, not to me, it's Roman Yossi because of his injury and what came out about his health.
It's a cardio thing.
It's
It's a nervous system
we have
cardio
no idea
issue.
how many minutes he can play. And this guy was logging 29 minutes a game. So I think Yossi is a red flag, but there might be, I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, more Cider.
Terrible.
I think he might be a red flag just because if Sandine Pelika makes that team, he could be the Hudson of last year.
It's tough to rely on but you're right.
It's a big if.
There's a threat,
No,
but
big if,
there's
obviously.
rumors of them wanting Carlson. You know, they signed Pelika to his ELC, so like there's it's a little bit concerning knowing that they're looking for another option.
Mhm.
And Seider was on and off on that power play last year. He's not a double-digit goal scorer. That scares me.
Yeah.
So for a guy who doesn't even hit 50 points, he doesn't score 10, 12 goals. And usually goals are worth more. Like in my rankings, our rankings are actually based off goals being worth more than assists.
Yeah.
So that's why that's my little red flag is Moritz Seider.
Well,
But I mean, he's not dropping much. I mean, for me, he dropped quite a bit, but
How old is he?
he's young. He's like 24. Yeah, he's 24.
24.
24 and a half almost.
he's entering his prime. But what I wanted to say
Oh, yeah,
about
Seider-
Eight goals, 38 assists last year.
Sorry, Nick. So Cider, Nick had him at 14. I had him at 13, and Junior had him at 28.
surprising that he only dropped by 2 there.
Mm.
One thing I'll say is that Roman Yossi, just to put a bow on Roman Yossi here, Roman Yossi, he would have been top 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Top 10.
If
Top
he was
10,
healthy,
yeah.
we would have had him top 5. But I think the uncertainty is the reason why we're dropping him. And if you're in an actual fantasy draft live right now, Roman Yossi as the 15th best defenseman coming off the board, you'll take that at number 15 because the upside is there for him to be top 5, right? But if he's not healthy, then we kind of baked in that volatility into this ranking of him at 15. Vince, why don't you tell us other guys that we had that were, I just went through the top 20, but let's talk about other guys that we were really deferred on here.
One guy in the top 20, Jacob Chitrum, who really deferred. Nick, you had him at 18. Junior had 15. I had him at 30.
You had him at 30.
Wow.
Wow.
At 30. And not because he's gonna lose his number one play with Washington. I just feel Washington will be a lower scoring team this year than last year. I think last year the hype of the Ovechkin, like getting Ovechkin to his goals. Well,
we did have the hockey troll on to preview Washington, and he mentioned that there could be a step back coming.
Yeah, a slight step back.
A slight step back for sure. But that's why I had Chitrum low. And then there's Heiskanen, obviously. You guys had Heiskanen in the 20s. Junior had him 22. Nick, you had him at 27. I had him 12th. And like I said, my reason was basically I really do think he's going to take that number one position and run with it this year.
The reason I like Chikrin is because he's a double-digit scorer. For a defenseman, that's usual. He won't get you 50 to 60, like maybe 50 points. He definitely won't get you 60, but he's getting you 15 to 20 goals. And that's massive for a defenseman. That's why I had him high.
And,
And he's super power play productive too.
and Nick was really worried about Roman Yossi because he had him at 25, where me and Junior had him at 14, 13.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about his health. Absolutely.
Well, to your point, there's things that come with pots that you have to do, like your diet has to change, your lifestyle has to change. So he can still play. It's not a question of whether or not he could play. He could, but he needs a lifestyle change, and he has to be moderate with certain things. So, like, you're right. It's a big
scary.
yeah.
It's scary. Okay. Anybody else in the top 20 that we deferred on, or can I move over
No,
to
we're
our?
good with the top 20.
All right,
Eric,
so-
Eric Carlson, always there, right? Top 20.
He still puts up points. He just puts up points, man.
He's just gonna put those points.
You know, he's horrible defensively. He's probably the worst defenseman in the NHL, but he puts up points.
Yeah, he does. Honestly,
You
he
got
really
it. You
does.
have to respect it.
Yeah.
You really have to respect it. Okay, guys, between 21 and 30, for those of you watching on YouTube, it is up on our board right now. You could actually
Unlike
see
our
what our
goalies, it's
rankings
actually-
are.
Unlike
our goalies, it's actually clear.
correct and clear.
But what do we think about here? Anybody stick out to you first, and then we're going to go with who deferred in this area.
The one guy is, I mean, if you look at all the other guys, they're all number one defensemen on their team. There's just two players there that are not, Noah Dobson and Taves. I mean, but Taves, you got to keep him in the top. You got to keep him there because you're just playing with Makar.
No, most of these guys are top pairing guys, even
Yeah,
if they're not
exactly.
the number one necessarily. Like Gossesbear, for example, who we ranked at 25. He's the number one power play guy
He scares him, but
in Carolina, and there's nobody else really. Nikishin maybe, but Nikishin, it's his first year in North America.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that he's going to be able to take over a top power play
No.
role in the first year. And Gossesbear, he's a power play merchant. This is what he does.
this is what Lane Hudson does to us. We just question every
young defenseman coming
comes
into the
and
NHL.
says they can do it. So and there's also Brady Sage at 30, right? If Yossi can
Brady
Shea.
yeah, Shea.
So if Yossi can put up, can he be higher up in the ranking? So
I think the only reason he's on this ranking is because
because of the injury,
the injury
for sure.
concern.
He ended
right?
the season pretty good, but I want your take on Charlie McAvoy. I think that's an interesting one. He
So-
only played 50 games last year.
Charlie McAvoy, me and you agree. Nicholas, on the other hand, put him 31st.
Wow. So you're just, is it because of the team? Is it because of injury prone? Like what's
Who's running that power play?
So the issue here is that Charlie McAvoy, he's not the best offensive player.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, he's not like we have Noah Dobson under him. Noah Dobson's a much better offensive defenseman than Charlie McAvoy.
yeah.
Seth Jones under him. I think Seth Jones is even a better offensive defenseman than Charlie McAvoy. Luke Hughes, Gossesbear.
So
And then it gets a little bit crowded there. Like, I think he's closer to Morgan Riley than he is.
so what you're saying is the opportunity, he's not good enough offensively. That opportunity should put him higher.
I think that
Deployment, whatever.
I think that our ranking is fair here. I would have put him lower because he's not very offensive.
Mhm.
But the fact is, opportunity, he will have it on probably the worst team in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
But he will have some opportunity here. So, look, I respect that you guys have him higher than me. I just don't see a lot of point production, really.
I find him a similar player to Moritz Sider a little bit in terms of
It's-
offensive.
The thing with Boston is you never know what's going to happen, and there's nobody in the wing in Boston as a defense, so he's going to have no choice but to play that 1 minute and 45 seconds on the power play. So that's why I had him.
You don't think Lohre is
No.
good enough offensively to
I don't-
take some of that power play time away?
I don't think so. Not yet, anyways.
In 50 games last year, 7 goals, 16 assists. He
I
was
mean,
on
is
pace
that
for
good?
38 points.
Like that's below top. That's number 30 plus.
But before that, he paced
45
52,
points?
but he paced 52, 64, 59 the 3 years before. So he has it in him.
Yeah.
He also
but
had a
what's-
much better team, much better power play. But, so
Hey, Pasternak's still there, my friend.
So, okay, just to give you guys an idea, though, last year, the 20th best defenseman had 45 points.
Yeah.
Okay, the 20th best defenseman had 45 points. McAvoy last year had 23.
pacing for 38, which would put him,
So
He's
we're
in this
ranking-
tier,
You
but-
guys are basically ranking him in this tier because of that.
Yeah, for me, he's between 40 and 45, I think.
Opportunity. I think he has more opportunity than the other guys we're going to be naming in the next year.
Okay. Why is
Okay.
Why is Brandon Montour? And I know why. I'm just asking you because I want you to talk about Brandon Montour a bit. Why is Brandon Montour on this list when he's not the number one on his team?
Because he just scores goals as a defenseman more than any other defenseman.
And we rank goals
Ranked-
higher.
And goals are in any league. Most leagues, goals are ranked higher.
18 goals last
Yeah.
year.
And he's on a he's on a team where the first power play can be dressed with two defensemen, him and Dunn on it. So there's a possibility he gets PP1, but he's a full on offensive defenseman. Like I mean, defensively, he's
Can you name
Yes, he averages 2.9 shots on net also a game.
Mm.
That's a nice number.
Can you name who we deferred on highly, or we already did that?
in this category we already did. If you want to know about
McAvoy,
Brandon
yeah.
Montour, we had him at 30, 27, 23. So we had him in this bracket basically. The only one is Sage, who had him at 44. I had him at 28, and Junior had him really high at 17.
Okay. Noah Dobson. I want to know because Montreal Canadiens fans want to know.
I want to know.
We have him as 22nd here.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's under
As a number not power play one necessarily guy,
under 50 points.
under 50 points. So we're expecting about 45.
40 to 45, depending on how they deploy him.
Okay. All right.
So
I think that's fair. I mean, everybody on this list from 21 to other than Shea,
29, does that worry you?
Mackenzie Weegar.
Yeah. If Perek,
I don't look. I know that
I'm just saying
Junior is
because-
very high on Perek coming in and stealing all the jobs right away.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible. I just don't think that they're gonna say, "Hey, Mr. Veteran, Mr. Weegar, I know that you did very well last year, but sit on the side because we're gonna put Perek in and you're gonna do nothing." Yeah, I don't think that that's the case in Calgary. I don't think that's the way that Conroy works.
Yeah.
So I think he belongs in this tier much more than Perek does.
Go next.
All right. Next, we have 31 to 40, and there's some interesting names on this list.
Okay.
Why? What's wrong?
No, it's fine. I noticed a mistake on my thing. It probably ruined his average on a player, but it's okay.
You go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's fine.
The player's not on this list, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't concern.
Oh, so you're just throwing out things.
Well, because I had him technically in this range, but he's not there.
Who?
Zibuya.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Jackson Lacombe last year came out of nowhere and kind of like did pretty freaking well. Cam Fowler's on this list. Brandon Clark, John Carlson. John Carlson, I feel like he's fallen a lot.
But why?
That's a good question. Why?
He's a number 2 defenseman.
Is he? He was still top power play guy last year.
Chichum wasn't there?
They had two defensemen on their power play.
They had two defensemen on the power play, but he was still top power play.
36?
14 power play points last
Yeah.
year.
How many? What's his age? 36, 37?
Yeah, he's getting up there in age.
But he had 51 points last year.
He's
He
30
doesn't like if we look at his last year's stats, he doesn't belong on this list.
No,
No.
He belongs in the top 20.
Yes. but
35 years old and 51
John
points in
Carlson.
79 games.
So why do we hate John Carlson on this
we don't
podcast?
hate John
It's-
Carlson. I'll say it. I hate John Carlson because Nick has him at 29. I have him at 44, and Junior had him at 32. I have him at 44 just because of his age. Chickchin is going
Okay, so you said basically you're 34 years old, you're dead now.
35 years old.
35.
Okay, you're 35 years old, you're dead.
No, because I think there's a regression in Washington that's going to happen because of the whole hype of Ovechkin already. Ovechkin is not hitting 50 goals. There's a regression that's going to happen. And that regression will be for the players who play on that power play. He plays John Carlson on that power play.
Okay, so you're really gunning for this, or not gunning, but really predicting a huge regression.
Not a huge regression.
Like they're missing the playoffs almost.
No. They're top 3.
Okay,
but
but-
the goal scoring, I don't see the goal scoring being what it was
But
last year.
if Ovechkin
Need
scored
to score
26 goals in an empty net, realistically, how much of a regression does that lead to?
But did he score 26 goals in the
Was it not 26 or 16?
There's no way he scored 26
Was it
goals
16?
last year on an empty net last year. I think he had 4 or
No,
5.
no.
He did not have 26 goals on empty net. It's impossible.
Is this TMZ
Oh, no,
Junior coming
no,
out?
sorry,
Junior, I don't
This
know
is
what-
TMZ Junior coming
maybe
out
for
again.
his career, but there's no,
no,
way.
his career is 65.
Yeah, but there's no way. Like I
Okay,
think
no,
Yeah,
no, this is
come on.
23, 24. We're
how-
going into 25, 26.
how many goals did Ovechkin have on the power play?
Hold on, I'm looking up
Are you
something
chat
else.
GPT this or something?
Come on, Junior.
Hold on, he had like I think it was 8.
Okay, 8.
He did not score an empty net goal. No, that's impossible. He scored some empty
I
net.
don't know, man, but you're really throwing out some weird stats here. Okay, let's ignore Junior. Put him on mute for now. Let's talk about
Wow,
something
that was
that's actually,
totally off. I was
yeah,
completely
you're
lost
really really lost.
there. Yeah, sorry, I take that back.
All right, so John Carlson. Back to John Carlson.
Wow.
Doesn't he deserve to be higher than 34?
Uh
I had him top 20. No, I had him mid 20s, right?
I think you had him in the John Carlson. You had him low 20s, 29. Junior
Okay,
32. I had him
32.
at 44.
Yeah, so you're the one that really thinks the regression is happening for all players in Washington this year.
Yes, but him mostly because of also his age. He won't be able to put up the minutes he's been putting up.
Okay.
So that was my my thinking around all that.
Okay, no problem. Rasmus Anderson is on this list. He has a little bit of trade rumors going on right now.
Rasmus Anderson.
He was
really?
also he was also off on our not off on our list, but the way like Nick, you had him at 37, Junior had him at 49. I had him I had him at 22 because I don't even think
22.
I don't even think it's Perek that's going to take Uyghur's position. I think it's Anderson that might take that Uyghur's
If he's even on the
position.
team, yeah.
But that's
It's hard. It's hard to predict, guys. It's hard.
No, but it's out there. He asked, do they want to move him?
so
So it's not just a rumor. It's out there. It's
Yeah,
official.
so as
So
it's a rumor.
that's uncertainty that you could take into effect when you make your
so as a
projection.
team, what would you do if you want to move a player to boost his value?
But his value doesn't come on offense. His value comes as an all-around defenseman and a right-handed shot defenseman.
I get
That's
what
where
you're
his
saying.
worth
I get
is.
what you're saying. It's just like that's a lot of
He
projection.
still played 24 minutes last year and only 2 minutes of on the power play. But
See, this is where we get to the nitty gritty because these are the players that there's a lot of uncertainty with all these players.
Look, let's be honest. After you pass the top 20,
yeah, it's
any one of these guys could move up and down, right? Like it's harder and harder to throw a crystal ball out there. We're not going to sit here and
No.
say that it's not guaranteed that John Carlson finishes 34th. Maybe he finishes in the 20s.
but like I'm saying, like Jackson Lacombe, Sam Renzel, these are all question marks because there's people in the wing waiting for them to just struggle a bit, and they're like Anaheim has Zellweger, has Minchikov, Chicago has
just left Shunov.
Lashunov,
Krushinski.
So they have people that could, as soon as they start struggling, oh, okay, let's go. And they're not teams that. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty in this category.
It's a good point. Thomas Chabot keeps putting up points.
I don't know how.
Well, he's not a bad player. It's just he's injury prone, and he's the number 2 guy in Ottawa, right? Last year, he put up 45 points.
Top 20.
That's top 20 numbers, but we have him at 40. Why do we have him at 40?
But don't forget, there's a lot of these guys like that are in our top 20 that either were injured, didn't produce as much. So
Those 20 other guys
no,
that were
not
injured?
not 20, but I
So
mean,
what's the difference here
Nick,
when it comes to Thomas Chabot?
If you look at our top 20, do you take Shabbat over any of those top 20s?
Do I take Chabot over the top 20s?
Like Makar, Hughes, Bouchard, Wierenski, Fox, Dahlin, Theodore, Morrissey, Hudson, Hedman, Jake Sanderson, Harley, Sergachev, Carlson, Yossi, Sider, Dunn, Hamilton, Heiskanen, Chicherim.
I mean, I think that I might take him around the same level as
Morgan Riley, maybe?
Devin Taves, Morgan Riley,
Yeah, so
in my late 20s.
Late 20s. So he could be one that makes the push. But it's just with defensemen, it's so hard because
Yeah, I just feel like he deserves to be higher on this list from the points that he actually puts up in the past.
I have a soft spot for him.
No, not at all. Actually, I hate the player. But I mean, the fact is you got to look at points, man. The guy puts up points.
Where'd you have him, Nick? Let me see. Thomas Chabot.
I have him getting 41 points
You had him
this
at
year.
39, Nick.
Shit.
You had him at 39, man. I'm the one who had him the highest at 34, and Junior had him at 39.
Well, it seems you're the smartest one here. Okay, let's move on. From 41 to 50, guys, there's some interesting names here as well. Who did we defer on largely in this category? Because I know I can tell you right off the bat, there's a few guys here that
Okay, so we'll start with
I don't like.
well, Forsling, you didn't have him on your list at all. Then Buyam, we deferred a lot. If Junior's ratings are right, Junior had him at 25.
It's just it was written 154 for some reason.
No, I have you at
Okay.
25. I have him at 55, and you have him at 48, Nick. So I don't know. I think
I think he's a
25
talented player.
Yeah.
Guys, I think
Junior, what makes him put what I know you have that love affair with him since the draft, but what makes you put him at that high up?
Look, if Faber doesn't turn things around, who's going to get the opportunity? It's Buyam. Buyam was drafted for this role. Now it's just a question of if they're going to give it to him right away, or is he going to earn it fast enough to get the points that I'm assuming he's going to get, which is 40 plus 40 points. Actually, I went on record on our TikTok to say 45 plus points. So I think Buyam's going to get 45 plus points because he's going to earn that job. The team is not in a playoff game, right? He joined the team in the playoffs. He was a healthy scratch sometimes. It's different. You're starting a new season. You're going to training camp with the team. They're going to feel him out. If Faber doesn't, he came out of nowhere and had that crazy offensive season of 47 points, which is not even that crazy if you think about it. It's just crazy because nobody thought Faber was going to do that. So I don't think they drafted Faber to be an offensive protagonist.
they traded for Faber, they didn't draft.
They traded for him, whatever. I
was
don't think
an LA
they
draft.
got him to be that number one guy, but I think they drafted Buyam to be the number one guy. It doesn't mean he's going to be that right away, but I personally think he's going to, by Christmas time, he's going to be the number one guy on this team.
Nick,
So-
who surprises you on this list? Because there's one player we both don't.
I'll say Buyam has all kinds of talent. The problem is that you're projecting that he's gonna, and I think this is a problem with Lane Hudson, because Lane Hudson last year came out, took over the number one power play within like a month of the season, started putting up these crazy points, started playing 25 minutes a game.
So
Guys, defensemen don't do this. We think now that all these new defensemen are coming in and they're all going to do this.
Yeah.
Defensemen don't do this. They come in, they play 12 minutes a game, 14 minutes a game. That's it. And maybe second power play if somebody gets injured. Like, we have to realize that I understand that, like, I think Buyam is absolutely the most offensive player. There's other players in Minnesota that could do this role for now.
Right.
They don't need to throw him in right away to do this role.
And
And that's why I rated him lower this year and not in the top 25.
And after they trade Kaprizov, I mean, that power play is done.
Okay, let's start with the
But
team.
it's not a question of defensemen. I think it's more now a question of the coaching. The coaching has changed. They're letting these offensive defensemen express themselves and do what they're good at. They're not shielding them. They're not. Brock Faber, when he got
You're
that,
talking about a
Brock-
very progressive
Brock
coach
Faber after
in
only
Martin St. Louis. Not all
John
32
Hines.
coaches are like
I understand, but it's going to be a shift like they always do. Brock Faber, at 22 years old, after only playing 2 games in the NHL, was averaging 24 and a half minutes per on ice per game.
What age was he?
He's 24 now, so he must have been 22.
Okay, how
He's
old is,
he's 23, so that was his 21-year-old season.
okay,
At
how-
21
how
years
is
old, he
Buyam?
played 24 and a half minutes.
How old is Buyam?
Probably 20.
Okay, so
I'm just saying,
What I'm saying
it's
with-
not out of the ordinary. If the guy is good, he's going to play.
It's out of the ordinary.
But
It's a shift.
my counter thing with that, Junior, is that with Lane Hudson, Montreal had no hopes of doing absolutely anything this year, and that's why they give him a long leash. Minnesota made the playoffs last year, are hoping to make the playoffs this year. How long of a leash are they going to be able to give with this player? And that's the biggest
No,
issue.
it's how long a leash they're going to give Faber, because Faber's going to start.
No, because Faber is defensively, Faber is solid.
Yes,
as hell.
but power play. It's not about defensively. He's still going to get 18 minutes,
Junior, I
Buyam, and
understand.
as long as he gets power play 1, he's going to
But
get points.
Buyam won't get 60 points on the power play.
Who?
Buyam. He's gonna. Brock
I don't
Faber-
see Buyam playing 25 minutes a night.
Buyam is gonna
Right,
play.
he
on
could
the
play.
third
He
pa-
could play 18 minutes plus power
No,
play.
He's gonna play on the third pairing at 14 minutes, like Lane Hudson started with Montreal.
He might start like that, but
So
It's your projection. You're allowed to project as you
Yeah, of course.
see fit. Obviously, we're just trying to see why, like, we're kind of not on the same page, and we're kind of discussing
that's what
right?
rankings are all about. That's why we do a consensus ranking. Chris Letang, should he be there?
Well, Eric Carlson kind of has taken over as the top power play guy. So you're looking at a secondary guy, and he hasn't been doing well lately.
No,
he hasn't been doing well. I know because I owned him.
Yeah, I feel he's one guy that's
he's dropped off.
Yeah, he's one guy that's going to be dropped off out of there. So,
but who else did we defer on largely just to start ending this, and we to do our promo?
Yeah, just also like D'Angelo's there. No indication of Schaefer. So if Schaefer is not good enough to get more points than Tony DeAngelo, shouldn't Tony DeAngelo be higher?
I'll tell you why. Again, there's uncertainty.
Yeah, no, it's a serious question. I'm not it wasn't a hypothetical.
He's ranked this low simply because of the uncertainty. Where did I have DeAngelo?
Tony DeAngelo. Nick, you had him at 41. Junior had him at 44. I had him at 54.
Okay, so we're all kind of around the same.
I'm a little lower because
he's starting as a top power play guy.
Yeah, 100%.
So right off the bat, I think that's why he's here. He's starting as a top power play guy. He has to be owned in fantasy.
To be fair, they signed him to a 1-year extension. So they want to keep him around until Schaefer, they know what they have in Schaefer.
There's no guarantee Schaefer comes in, steals the top power play right away. He has more chances than Bouillon to do so because
at
he was
18?
a first overall pick.
At 18?
He was a first overall pick.
As a defenseman.
He's a first overall pick. Well, Bouillon is 19. So you're not proving your point. But he's 19.7. Don't even start.
Okay, exactly. So he's going to be 20 a month into the season.
No, 3 months into. Anyway, so I think DeAngelo starts on the top power play, and that's why you need to own him.
Okay, so before we come to our final thoughts about defensemen,
he just turned 18 years old, September 5th.
Exactly, but he's a first overall pick.
So before we come with our final thoughts,
we have to do our DraftKings promo.
That's what we're doing now. So who's doing it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
You sure you're not too flustered about Bouillon?
Oh, man.
I can't wait to be right again. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sports app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void on Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. All right, guys. Final thoughts on defensemen here. Very important to note that everybody has a different strategy on defensemen.
Yeah.
There's some people that go 0D strategy.
0D.
Where you're going to be drafting guys like Owen Power, Bouillon, as your top guys,
Hannafin,
and you're hoping, right? There's other strategies where you're gonna go high on some of these guys. Like for example, Cale Makar, I've seen him go in the first round, right? And he should go
in the first half of the first round.
Makar needs Makar has to go in top 10. Okay, you're not letting McCarr go.
Quinn Hughes in the top
Quinn
2
Hughes,
rounds,
yeah.
3
I
rounds.
I
Sure,
think-
but I think those are the only two players
Yeah.
where I think those are the only two players where I really think they go really high. The rest, then,
That's the tier one
yeah,
for sure.
Then you got to gauge. I mean, if you're in round 3 and you're the 10th pick, and then the picks 1 to 9 are all picking defensemen, well, you got to get on your bum and pick a defenseman, because as soon as you see defensemen coming off the board, that's where you have to be a bit alert on what defensemen are left, because then you're like,
You got to make a judgment call.
yeah, because then, like Nick said, then you're getting stuck with all these young defensemen. So with the
Where there's a lot more uncertainty.
with the darts in the
You might say that the forward available because of the run of defensemen is worth more than having
Yeah.
a scrap defenseman later.
yeah. So it's always different strategies. Like, there's no one list that you can take and just follow and say this is the best list, because you don't know how all your other.
I disagree with you, sir. I think
Oh,
our list is
tell
the
them.
best list, and that's the way it is.
Just for a low cost of $99.99.
We give it to you free, guys. We give it to you free, even though it took us a lot of sweat and tears just to come out with this list.
No, but honestly, if you guys are interested in getting our lists and stuff like that, just send us a DM. We'll gladly send you a list.
We're gonna post it on social media for sure.
Exactly. So,
But we're also going to let you join our listener league if you follow and
let's go,
subscribe
boys.
on YouTube and give us a thumbs up on. Guys, please give us some thumbs up on YouTube. It's fun to do this. I hope you're enjoying it.
Forwards rankings next.
Wow.
Forwards
Episode.
rankings is
Wow,
episode
That's gonna-
108.
That's going to be a debate, I feel.
Forwards.
Oh, because we didn't have a debate here. William, top 25.
They are in there, top 10.
Remember when you
Yeah.
laughed about Hudson, huh?
Yeah, everybody's Hudson now. Everybody's Hudson.
Have a good night, peeps.